In a chilling revelation that still echoes in the world of psychology, Carl Jung, the influential psychiatrist and founder of analytical psychology, once shared a discovery so profound it changed his approach to his most dangerous patients. He found that an astonishing 83% of those who eventually became deeply destructive, the ones who ruined lives, careers, and families, displayed one specific, subtle warning sign before their downfall. It wasn't obvious aggression or overt hostility. It was something far more insidious, something that often hides in plain sight within seemingly kind, charismatic, and even admirable people. Jung's warning was stark: when you see this sign, your only real protection is immediate withdrawal. This is the most dangerous psychological mechanism in human relationships, unconscious shadow projection fused with absolute certainty. The most dangerous sign: projection with conviction. We all project parts of ourselves onto others from time to time. This is a common psychological defense mechanism. For instance, you might unknowingly accuse a friend of being selfish when you're the one struggling with selfishness yourself. This kind of projection is often a fleeting error in perception. What Jung observed was different. It was a weaponized form of projection, supercharged by an unwavering certainty. The person doesn't just think you might be selfish, they know you are. In their mind, it's not an opinion, it's an undeniable fact. And once this belief hardens, nothing you say or do can change their mind. The patient who changed everything. Jung's discovery was cemented in 1913 while treating a patient who seemed the epitome of harmlessness. He was charming, well-spoken, and genuinely concerned for the well-being of those around him. But Jung noticed a deeply disturbing pattern: every time the patient described someone as manipulative or evil, the traits he listed were eerily familiar. They weren't the other person's traits. They were his own. The patient was unconsciously describing his own hidden manipulativeness, cruelty, and selfishness, but placing them squarely in everyone else. The real-world consequences were devastating. Within 6 months, the patient had destroyed 3 relationships, gotten 2 colleagues fired, and driven his own brother to a nervous breakdown. Through it all, he believed himself to be the innocent victim of others' malice. He couldn't see the destruction he was causing because he had externalized his own darkness and was fighting it in other people. Why it's so convincing? Modern neuroscience provides a chilling explanation for why these individuals can be so persuasive. Dr. Robert Sapolsky of Stanford has shown that when someone projects their shadow with complete conviction, their brain activates neural patterns seen in delusional states. They aren't just lying, their brain has literally rewritten reality to fit their internal narrative. Because of this, they can often pass lie detectors, convince mutual friends, and even make you question your own memory. To them, the story they tell isn't a fabrication, it's the absolute truth. This type of projection doesn't stay contained. It creates what psychologists call a reality distortion field, pulling others into their narrative. Once people are inside this field, it becomes nearly impossible to get them out. This is how entire families turn against one member. Whole workplaces unite to ostracize one person. Communities ruin reputations based on nothing more than one person's conviction and charisma. 5 red flags to recognize the danger. Jung documented 5 unmistakable signs of this dangerous projection. Recognizing these is the key to protecting yourself. Absolute certainty about your motives. They don't wonder or guess about why you do things, they tell you exactly who you are and what you feel. Immunity to evidence. The more proof you offer to the contrary, the more they twist it to confirm their narrative. For example, your apology becomes proof of your manipulation. Excessive emotional intensity. Their reactions are wildly disproportionate to anything that actually happened. A minor disagreement triggers rage, tears, or a dramatic victim narrative. Perpetual victimhood. No matter the situation, they are always the innocent party who has been wronged by others. They take no responsibility for their role in conflicts. Recruitment behavior. They actively work to get others to see you the way they do, often under the guise of concern for your well-being or the well-being of others. When you see all 5 signs together, Jung warned, you're no longer in a simple disagreement. You're in a psychological trap. The escalation pattern. This isn't an instant event, it follows a predictable escalation pattern. Initial projection, small, odd misreadings of you begin. Conviction crystallization, the narrative hardens. You become the problem. Reality distortion, everything you do is reinterpreted to prove their view. Social recruitment, they begin telling others about their concern for you. Collective possession, others adopt their view and turn against you. Systematic exclusion, you're pushed out socially, professionally, or emotionally. The key is recognizing the signs by stage 2, before they gather an army. How to protect yourself. Jung's protocol for dealing with this was brutally simple. Trust your reality. If their description of you feels alien or untrue, believe yourself first. You are the ultimate authority on your own reality. Stop explaining, evidence is useless. It will be twisted and used against you. Don't give them more ammunition. Document everything, they will rewrite history. Keep a log of conversations and events. Check with outsiders, seek out people who are not in the reality distortion field and ask for their perspective. Withdraw early. Once they start recruiting others, your only real protection is immediate withdrawal from the relationship. The most dangerous people are not cartoon villains. They are often polite, charming, and even inspiring. The danger lies in their unconsciousness, their inability to see that the darkness they describe in others is actually their own. They project not because they are strong, but because they can't bear to face their own inner darkness. Jung put it in one chilling sentence, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Until a person does, they will always be looking for someone else to carry their shadow. And if you let them, it will be you. Your shield is awareness. The moment you can see the pattern, in them and in yourself, you step out of their psychological grip and reclaim your reality. Understanding the mechanism of psychological traps. The psychological phenomenon of unconscious shadow projection combined with absolute certainty is so dangerous because it operates outside the typical rules of human conflict. We are programmed to see conflict in terms of right and wrong, good and evil. We expect a villain to be aware of their malice, but the person trapped in this state is not. They are, in a sense, a victim of their own mind. Their delusion is a fortress built from the denial of their own flaws. When they accuse you of being manipulative, cruel, or selfish, they are, in fact, desperately trying to rid themselves of these very qualities by externalizing them. You are not their enemy, you are a psychological mirror in which they see the very parts of themselves they cannot tolerate. The battlefield is not a moral one, but a psychological one, where the weapons are not blows or insults, but a distorted, unassailable narrative. The futility of fighting a delusion. The first instinct when confronted with such a narrative is to defend yourself. You want to provide evidence, offer explanations, and appeal to logic. You believe that if you just present the facts clearly enough, the other person will see the truth. This is a fatal mistake. Your evidence is not a counterargument, it's ammunition for their delusion. Your explanation of why you acted a certain way will be twisted into proof of your deceit. Your attempts to be reasonable will be seen as manipulative. Trying to win a rational argument with someone who has rewritten reality in their own mind is like trying to convince a chess player that their queen is a pawn. No matter what you say, they will still see the piece on the board as their queen and treat it accordingly. The only winning move is to recognize the game for what it is and refuse to participate. The power of radical self-awareness. The ultimate shield against this kind of psychological attack is not a better argument or a sharper wit, but a deep, unwavering commitment to self-awareness. Our capacity to project our flaws onto others is directly proportional to our refusal to acknowledge them in ourselves. For example, if you are in denial about your own tendency to be controlling, you will be highly susceptible to seeing control issues in everyone around you. By contrast, a person who has done the hard work of confronting their own controlling nature will be less likely to see it everywhere else. Jung's wisdom here is transformative. The more you own your shadow, the less others can project theirs onto you. You cease being a blank canvas for their unlived life and unacknowledged pain. When someone accuses you of a flaw that you have already consciously integrated, their words will simply not stick. You know who you are, and their distorted narrative has no power over you. The path to psychological freedom. Reclaiming your reality is the most crucial step in protecting yourself from the kind of psychological trap Jung described. It is a quiet but powerful act of defiance that shifts the power dynamic entirely. This process isn't about winning an argument or proving your innocence, it's about no longer needing to. It involves a two-part strategy: disengagement and recentering. Step 1: Disengagement. The first and most difficult part is to stop playing the game. This means refusing to argue, explain, or justify your actions. A person who is projecting their shadow with certainty is not seeking a logical discussion, they are looking for a reaction that confirms their narrative. Your attempts to defend yourself become evidence of your defensiveness. Your apologies become proof of your guilt. Every word you say is reinterpreted through the lens of their delusion. To disengage is to stop feeding the loop. It is a silent, firm boundary that says, I will not participate in a conversation based on a false premise. This doesn't mean you have to agree with them, it simply means you stop trying to change their mind. Step 2: Recentering. Once you've disengaged, you must recenter yourself in your own truth. This is a deliberate act of psychological self-preservation. It involves several key practices. Trust your perceptions. When someone's narrative makes you feel confused or as if you're going crazy, your first line of defense is to trust your own senses and memory. You are the ultimate authority on your own reality. Seek outside validation, find a trusted friend or therapist who is not within the reality distortion field. Talk to them about what you're experiencing. Hearing a sane, grounded perspective can help you break free from the confusion and gaslighting. Hold to the objective facts, document everything. Note dates, times, and what was said. This is not for a future confrontation, but for yourself. It serves as a reminder of the objective truth when their story threatens to make you doubt your own memory. The ultimate shield: radical self-acceptance. Jung's chilling discovery, ultimately, is not a warning to fear others but a profound call to know yourself. The true danger lies not in the darkness we see in others, but in the darkness we refuse to see in ourselves. The more we deny our own flaws, the more we become a target for projection. When you have the courage to look at your own shadow, to acknowledge your insecurities, hypocrisies, and hidden resentments, you stop being a blank screen for someone else's unlived life and pain. You are no longer a character in their unconscious drama. You become impenetrable. The path to safety and psychological freedom is not about fighting for your reality but about standing so firmly within it that their distorted narrative can no longer touch you.